Hey there, hi and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to show you a simplified way to use the EMR 7.5 on EC2 instance with the table buckets. I have made a very simple shell script which will create a EMR cluster and then submit the PySpark job as a step. And once the job is complete, it will automatically terminate. So I want to walk you over the steps so beginners and new people who are keen to learn, the process becomes a little more simplified. So without wasting any time, let's begin the lab. Alright, so the step one is we need to create a table bucket. So head over to AWS Management Console, and here you can see the table buckets. Probably click on Create Bucket. Give a unique name that you like, just give any name and then click on Create Table Bucket. I already have created one and I'm gonna copy the ARN from here. So let's take a look at a shell script that I wrote. This will really make your life a little easy. So this will, if I open up this one really quickly from my GitHub, and again it's there. We define the EMR version as 7.5. We give it a name to the cluster. We define the region. Put your bucket name here where you want to store the logs. This is going to be your ARN for your EMR service role, right? And then over here you will see the job path. This is the local Python PySpark job that you're going to submit to the EMR. So the path will go over here, right? And then config file, the config file which is available locally. I'll walk you over that step shortly. So this job, what it does is basically does very simple thing, right? It will copy the job locally into an S3 bucket, as you can see over here. And once this is done, it's gonna call AWS EMR create cluster. It's gonna call the create cluster and then gonna submit the PySpark job as a step, as you probably may see over here. And if you observe here, this will use the Spark submit command and then you're gonna use the right packages and gonna submit the job. So 50 lines of shell script will save you a lot of headaches, right? So just wanna walk you over that. So from the previous part, copy the table ARN. Now the next step that you wanna do in the script, right? Replace the path with your ARN that you have. And now we're gonna submit this script to EMR, right? I'm gonna walk you what it does. So in simple language, this script, all it does, it uses a catalog called S3 table bucket. And then inside a catalog, it creates a namespace called example namespace. And once the namespace is created, it creates a sample table, inserts some data, and then does a select star from that. Now, behind the scene, the compaction and the cleaning, everything will be taken care by AWS. Once the job is complete, the cluster will be automatically terminated, okay? So that's that, right? And the configuration over here, you will see a simple config, right? So how do you use this, right? So again, I cannot show you my settings, right? But put your variables over here and then I'm gonna show you by executing it, right? I do not have an EMR cluster right now, so I'm gonna right now do that. So I'm gonna cd into this directory, ls -l. Here you let me just do tree. Yeah, configuration file. Here you have your Python PySpark job and then the shell file, right? So now I'm gonna do chmod plus x /master.shell. So I'm gonna give the permission and now I'm gonna execute it, okay? /master.shell. Here you can see uploaded the job on S3 and then it created a cluster and submitted a job. So let's quickly head over to EMR to see if that worked. Lovely, look. Here you can see that job is in the starting state, right? If you can probably see, right? And then if I go to my Python PySpark, so okay, so I'm gonna go here. Right now I don't have anything inside this table bucket, right? It's completely empty. So now this job, so the cluster is in the, excuse me. So the cluster is in the starting state, and once the cluster is in the waiting state, if I click here, go to steps, here you can see that there is a particular step, and if I expand that, here you can see the arguments, right? Spark submit, we use the right package, and then the PySpark script. So we basically automated, right? We don't have to go through all these manual process, right? So this will take a couple of minutes. So what I will do is let me pause the video right here, because usually creating EMR serverless cluster, it takes a couple of minutes. So once this is done, probably I'll resume the video. And again, once the job is complete, the cluster will automatically terminate it, right? Because you have submitted a step. As the step is complete, the cluster is terminated, right? So that's a good practice, right? So pausing the video right here. The step is now running, as you can see. So I just thought to resume the video. If I refresh here, I do not have logs, so hopefully I'm expecting the logs should come up pretty soon. So let's go back. The cluster is now, as you can see, running in the running status, and as you can see, it's running my step over there, right? So if I go back to my step and just gonna wait for the logs to come up. Usually it takes a couple of time for the logs to show up, right? So just gonna be a little patient here, and once the logs are probably ready or the job is complete, I'll resume it. So I'm gonna pause the video again right here at this point. Looks like the step was complete, and probably gonna do stdr logs. Here you can see that package was installed, right? So looks good. Now let me see the output logs quickly. Steps, std out. Lovely, man. Oh, oops. Yeah. So we basically did show catalog and then show namespace inside that catalog. We have an example namespace, and then we were able to build that Iceberg table. We were able to query that table. And if we go back to the table buckets, refresh here, I can see my table one. I can see the example namespace. I can see that underlying files are now managed by Amazon. We don't see them, right? So it's like probably like a black box, right? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and again, the whole goal of the video was to make the process a little bit easier. So I just made this shell file and this configuration and this PySpark job, which now you can use to try it out, right? So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any more questions on that, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. And that being said, keep smiling, keep programming, and I will see you in the next video.